deeply, deeply appreciate. Whew. International Women's Day. Not without any tears. No one's getting out without crying. Who wants to cry next? Here we go. Oh, it's weird doing this with like a bunch of people there. Usually it's just me doing the intro. All right, it's all good. Welcome to the Tiffany Show. Today at Canoe Cafe Company, Euphoria Wellness Spa, International Women's Day. Today is a special episode. I have pulled some remarkable women to share their stories.
Happy International Women's Day.
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 IWD. Let's do this. First guest number one, Nicole Cooke, Organized by Design. Come on down to The Price is Right. I'm just kidding. It's International Women's Day.
I am the proud mom of 3 beautiful daughters and the owner of Organized by Design.
Somebody that's got a laugh that is contagious and warms the soul. Sarah Evans, Century 21 United Realty.
Hi, I'm Mandy Juby. I own Jubilation Studios. It's a dance and yoga studio that is inclusive and non-competitive. I actually have 3 dogs, but one is good. And
I only know the naughty ones.
Yeah, no.
Come on in, Lindsay Walker Chiarelli. No, Lindsay Walker Chiarelli. No, I did it again. Lindsay Walker Chiarelli. As if we've never met before, my beautiful friend. I have turned to you as a safe space for several years. And I just wanted to acknowledge you for that. You're just such a remarkable person, and I'm very, very lucky to have you in my life. Oh, God, I'm going to cry. Don't cry, don't cry. Whew. All right, Lindsay. Tina, how are you, friend?
Great, thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a personal support worker. I'm also a busy mom to 9 beautiful children. I uplift people from the elder right down to the young. So
Here's my coffee. Sorry, I've been looking for this. Michelle, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
First and foremost, I'm a mom and a grandmother. I have a wonderful profession. I'm a recruiter with the Peterborough Police Service. So women are very important to me.
Yes.
And if anyone's listening and wants to chat about a career in policing, please reach out. I also am a part-time instructor at Fleming College.
To Ashley Webster, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Can you share with our friends a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I am a mom of a 1.5-year-old, which has been amazing and very life-changing. I also own a Braidwood Blooms, and through that business, which is brand new, I raise money for mental health at PRHC through the PRHC Foundation and the newest fundraising ambassador.
No fiddle today, but we do have an Irish Millie. You have been crushing it. Let's just acknowledge that for a second.
Yeah, I've been having a pretty good go at it for the last little bit. And,
Had a pretty good go at it. Just launched my merch store.
Yeah.
You hit a milestone on Spotify fairly recently as well.
Yeah, I did. I was really happy about the support from the community. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's reciprocal. I see you, Irish Millie.
I try.
Out there supporting others, cheering them on as well. I know a little bit about you. Maybe share a little bit about yourself with those that are watching.
Yeah, so I'm Irish Millie. And I'm 17. I'm right from Peterborough. I play the fiddle about 11 years.
Wow.
It's been a really, really great thing for me in my life. Just released a single. I'm working on my 2nd album. I'm up for my 3rd Canadian Folk Music Award nomination.
Channel. I'm bringing in Jessica Erickson, micro age, Peterborough, Whitby. She is my cybersecurity expert. I'm just saying. Appreciate you. Always love being in your space, sister.
and I always appreciate you being a cheerleader for me.
Oh my God.
As a woman in a male-dominated industry, still having females that are like, no, you want to talk to her. You want to talk to her. It means a lot. Women that have had profound impacts on technology, like Ada Lovelace. She was a part of the team that put men on the moon.
And like, there's so many women in technology that go unrecognized. If you want to dig into it more, I highly encourage it because it's a really interesting story over decades of women kind of making these huge strides and kind of just falling into the shadow a little bit and whatnot. And I actually got into the industry because of the sexism. I did it out of spite.
Oh my God, there's nothing more than I love than a mission fueled by spite.
Yeah.
Ineke Turner. Show the people the shirt I'm going to be buying later. Yeah. The only man allowed in the episode today is Dante Turner. I'm going to say, other than Ineke, I'm probably like his second favorite person.
Wow.
His third favorite person.
Maybe.
His 10th favorite person. His 47th favorite person.
I think everybody after me is number 2.
Ashley Flynn. God, I love your spicy energy every time I'm around you. When I think of women that take risks and jump in and just go for it and not care about what's happening on the other side, inspiring to me.
It took a lot of years of convincing myself that was cool to do.
Right from the second that you and I spoke, I picked that up from you, and I just knew that you were a powerhouse. BlackRock Developments. You are, let's just say it, in a male-dominated industry, and you are crushing it. You're the type of person that mentions other people's names at tables and rooms.
I think it's really important that women support other women, and I love Peterborough and the Kawarthas. It's all about supporting other people here. And so we have lived here for many, many years, grew up here, lived away for a bit, but came back because this is really where I wanted to be and certainly wanted to raise my own daughters.
I kind of wanted to dive a little deep today. Women, we battle the narrator for majority of our lives. Sometimes I actually say like, oh, please, I've had enough. Just shut up. Like at one point I got so tired of hearing myself say mean things to myself internally that it was just like, please stop. I've heard enough. So in that vein, one of the questions I'm asking today is, what is the meanest thing you have ever said to yourself?
That I can't do it, that I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, I'm just not powerful enough to do something, don't have the confidence to do it. And it held me back from lots of things over the years. Changing that inner dialogue is tricky. Surrounding yourself with women like Tiffany helps because they help to uplift you and they help you change that inner dialogue.
Meanest thing I've ever said to myself was, I'm not good enough. I think it's hard as a mom because we try to do the best we can. And sometimes we just don't feel like it's enough. Like, especially struggling with 9, you got to divide your attention between them all. And I just think that sometimes we just feel like it's just not enough.
What's the meanest thing Ashley Flynn has said to herself?
They are better than me. And they is like everybody. I spent forever on the sidelines, constantly thinking that the people out there were doing better things than I would, and thinking that they were judging me, even though they didn't know who I was. Right? So it took me, it's funny and ironic that you say I come in here and I'm inspiring, and it took me forever to be okay with being authentically up me.
We're talking about narratives. What's the meanest thing you've ever said to yourself?
Oh my gosh, I'm my hardest and worst critic. I have put myself down. I've told myself I'm not worthy. I've told myself I'm not good enough. I've told myself I'm going to fail. I have told myself, you don't look good. Your hair is terrible. Like the worst things that you can say to yourself. And if I ever heard my children saying these things to them, you cringe so hard for other people and you want to give the best to other people. But I am very guilty of self-sabotage. So it has been something in my life to learn, change, accept, grow, and stop, right? And I actually have had some very dear friends who have helped me to stop. They're like, would you say that to me? Why are you saying that to you?
Things that I said about this body that has carried me through this life.
Yes. It's responsible for my children, has got me through every trauma, overcome every obstacle, like every hurdle. And I've had a lot and I've put myself in a lot and I have overcome it. And you rise above and you will be fine. Just keep going. Like, I want everybody to know that, men, women, children, everybody, like, just keep going. You're going to be fine. Just keep going. That it's such a, you know, quit beating yourself up. Yeah. Be nice to you. Yes. If you're going to say something to yourself, ask if you would say that to your best friend.
Oh, I do that I will do that to my best friend sometimes. She'll say something to me and I'll be like, can you just be a little nicer to my friend, please?
Yeah.
Because, you know, so if we wouldn't tolerate that behavior for our best friends, we cannot tolerate it for ourselves.
Talk about your friend like that.
Don't you talk about my friend like that.
Yes.
What has been the meanest thing that you've said to yourself?
Well, I don't think it ever stops in life. I think we continually have to stop that little voice in the back of our minds. But I think one of my challenges has always been that I'm not worthy or strong enough. But that is just a challenge that I take as a personal challenge and try to work through it.
I love that you harness that. You're like, I won't even tell myself that. I'll hear it for a second and then immediately fight it.
Yeah, bring it on.
Let's ride.
I've been guilty of being very, very mean to myself since childhood. I've always been like incredibly, incredibly hard on myself. But I think the meanest is probably, you know, when I was telling myself that my son probably would be better with a different mom.
Oh. No way.
If we're being really honest, I think that's the meanest.
That's mean.
I didn't feel good enough for him. I felt like he's perfect. And I'm not good enough. Nothing is good enough.
But yeah, I'm very mean to myself. I say a lot of harsh things to myself that I would not allow other people to say to me. And I'm working on it. I'm getting better. In a very short span of time, a few years ago, I went through, a trauma, went through the injustice system, and a whole bunch of things happened all at once. And I really faced a lot of criticism with how I processed that and how I dealt with that.
Right.
And for a long time, I really took it to heart and was having that internal dialogue of you're being crazy, you're overreacting, you're being dramatic.
Emotional.
The meanest thing that I've said to myself is that no one would notice or care if I were gone. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And sometimes that voice is a little bit too loud.
Yeah.
I've, put a lot of work into myself and therapy. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
5 stars.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the meanest thing Irish Millie has ever said to herself?
When I was younger, I was diagnosed with a thing called sensory integration, where basically a lot of my senses are very heightened to the point where it makes regular life pretty difficult. So, and even being a musician with that, it made it really difficult because of sounds, and I couldn't wear certain clothes, and I just wasn't like other kids.
Right.
So I kind of would tell myself that there was something wrong with me. And I was like, there's something wrong with me. There's something different about me. And at the time, I didn't really know that different could also be really cool and really great. But discovering the fiddle and playing myself through that up till now, I realized that this sensory integration actually made me a better musician. And it made me a better person because I was able to be more attentive with my music, and I was able to have this talent in a different way than a lot of other people. And so it made me realize that that was actually something that was really unique and cool about me.
I would say you don't fit in. And I think, as teenagers, especially girls, we go through that where it's like, I just don't fit in, and you have those experiences. And then I know for me, like, even after I got out of high school and grew up, it was like, it did become this inner narrative where I would meet new people and I would just assume that I didn't fit in with them. Right. Oh, you know what? If they know the real, silly, weird, imperfect me, then they're going to realize that I don't fit in. I'm going to have this persona for them, and they're not going to get to know the real me, and then they won't know. They won't know that I don't fit in with them.
What is the meanest thing Ineke Turner has ever said to herself?
First thing that comes to mind is you're going to fail, or everybody hates you, kind of like that whole narrative.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just kind of extra loud for me sometimes. So, yeah.
Nicole, if you could share a message, what would that message be?
Surround yourself with the right people. That still is, to me, one of the very most important things in life. And make sure that the people around you are uplifting. Don't spend time with people that bring you down or that are those toxic relationships. Stay with happy people that are just fun to be with and have a positive influence on you.
I love that. You are what you eat. Watch who you.
Right?
Well, we don't eat people, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Watch who is in your circle and protect your space. Nicole Cooke, happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Saint.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right, get out.
Okay. Next.
I've learned that practicing gratitude and being grateful for everything every day spins my perspective into something so positive and reminds me of all of my blessings. And I want all the girls to start practicing that themselves. You know, just give some gratitude. Thank yourself for being great, because you are great. We don't do that.
Right?
We tell ourselves the bad things. So this is a great message. Thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for having me here.
Please.
Thank you for letting me sponsor you.
Oh
Thank you for
God.
all of the marvelous things that you've done. Thank you for promoting me. I just adore you. Thank you so much. Happy Women's Day, everybody.
And something I would say to like other women in my industry or in any industry is make friends in your industry. They can be your competition or they can be your collaboration. And I find that when I work with other women who do the same job as me, we learn so much from each other. And it's so good to know, okay, once again, I'm not crazy. This is really happening, and it's happening to other people in this industry too. And we just learn so much from each other.
Builds community, and that connection is just so powerful in our own journeys. Thank you so much for sharing us, Mandy, on
Thank you.
International Women's Day.
Thanks for having me.
When we talk about assuming, when it's like I assumed that I didn't fit in with them, something that I learned fairly recently, when I find like I'm saying that to myself, I've started asking myself, well, who told you that?
Yeah.
Because you were sharing that story, I thought, oh, really, really powerful to ask
Absolutely.
yourself, who told you that?
Absolutely.
So, Lindsay, what would you say to that narrator now?
I would say, okay, like just wait. Say you don't fit in, but are you just assuming that you don't fit in? Are you just worried that, you know, if they see the real you, the real weird you, the real imperfect you, that they won't like you? You are just assuming, like just let it go. Just be yourself and see what happens, right? Just see what happens. Because maybe they will like you. Maybe it's going to be great. And if it doesn't work out, then they're just not your people.
That's right.
That's all it means. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means those aren't your people.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned, you know, that we're friends and everything, because you were one of the people that made me go, you know what? I'm seeing these people around me that are having fun and real meaningful relationships and real supportive relationships. And I want to have that. So why do I have to put this wall around me? Like, these people have always been supportive of me. Maybe if I show my real self, they're really going to like me, because I really feel a connection to these people. And you were one of those people, because you're always so warm and caring and your true self to everybody. It's like, I want some of that. So then I was like, I'm going to be like that. And now we're such good friends. And it's just like, it means so much to me. So I just want to thank you for that.
It's so interesting how we bond, and like the things that we think about each other, right? Like, especially in the beginning of our, I was like, that Lindsay is so strong and she's so brilliant. And I was like, oh, I got you. Like, she's so much smarter than I am, are like the things that I would, And then as our relationship grew and the walls came down, and we just learned about each other, and oh my gosh, you're so freaking special. And for those of you that don't know, Lindsay does a remarkable amount of work for animals, especially dogs, all animals. She's a huge animal lover. She works for Fetch and Release and Releash. Yeah. And what other organization do you work with?
Rainbow Rat Refuge. Oh. They are a local rat refuge in Peterborough, doing amazing things for animals.
They are, and I love rats and I love dogs, but I had to shout you out for that, because I'm absolutely an animal lover, and those rescues need our love too. Lindsay, if you had a message for little you, or maybe some of the young women watching us today, what would that message be?
I would say it's not about fitting in, it's about finding your people. So just find your people.
Find your people. Absolutely. And it is okay if other people are not your people.
Right.
That's fine.
Because there's other people out there.
There's millions of people out there.
Literally.
We can't be liked and have them all. They're not Pokemon. Why did I say that? Some of the things I say in this, I swear to you. Lindsay, you are such a gem. Thank you for sharing your heart with us and your message about fitting in. Find your people. Happy International Women's Day,
Happy International Women's Day.
Gideon and I are not parents, but we have lots of friends that are parents, and we've seen a lot of our friends go through the journey of parenthood.
Yep.
And that message of not being enough, that comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing enough, I can't, and I'm like, well, like, you doing your best?
Yeah, you're doing the best you can with
Is
what
your
you're
heart
given.
in the right place?
Yeah.
Are you doing better than your parents?
Right?
Hey, that's the baseline. That's the baseline. No shade, just reality. We all, level up every generation.
It's true, we do.
It is. It's true, right? It's just the honest human truth. Women out there that don't feel like they're enough.
Yep.
They've got a lot going on. They've been through. What is your message to them?
I think the biggest message I could send to women or children or even men out there is that you are enough. If you're struggling, everybody struggles. Everybody goes through struggles. But at the end of the day, you're enough to get through it. You're enough to become what you want to become. And if you're struggling, reach out for help. That's the biggest thing. Don't veer away from getting the help you need or talking to somebody if you need to talk to someone.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Tina.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
All about strong women like you, like the rest of you,
Yes.
like all of you at home.
Yes.
Police Services, I think, is hiring a financial coordinator right
Yes,
now. Is that correct?
and-
We might as well plug that while we're
Yes.
on TV.
And a wellness and disability manager. So
Excellent. So City of Peterborough Police Services. Well, that's an interesting career.
yes.
And Michelle, what would you say to women or little you?
Little me? Okay, I think it's really important, especially as a female, anyone in life, but especially as a female, to know your core values, know what you represent, know what's important to you. Create a personal plan and always have a plan B, plan C, plan D, because if plan A doesn't work out, you haven't failed. You just move on to plan B or plan C. I've had several plans and I finally got to where I am today. And it's been a journey, but I've grown from every single stage. Resiliency I've built. I've made fantastic friendships and I've learned along the way.
You are my people.
And then I always say too, that every day is a fresh new start. We have a choice. And when you get to that place where you want to be, turn around, grab the hand of the next woman and help her get to where you want to be. Build that.
Wonderful message from you today, Michelle.
Thank
Thank you so much. Happy
you.
International Women's
Happy
Day.
International Women's Day.
And the biggest thing coming out of postpartum is really understanding, okay, now I'm a mom, so I have to be the adult, right? I'm the parent here. I rely on myself for survival. My son relies on myself for survival. And that means anything I'm doing, if it's overextending myself to another person, putting myself last, that's an act of disrespect. Because at the end of the day, I come first. Because if I'm not good, my son's not good.
Right.
And no one's going to come save you. And I think it's those tough realizations as a mom, because it's easy to be in it and be like, why is no one helping me? Why can't anyone see how much I'm struggling? And I'm doing all the cleaning and I'm doing this and no one's like giving it back to me. But it's my job to control my own energy.
Yep.
And say, well, you know what? I'm tired. So that means the house is not getting cleaned today. And that's fine. And that doesn't make me a bad mom.
I love everything about that message you just shared, Ashley. That is remarkably powerful. Yes. Happy International Women's Day. Oh, so you just leaned into that superpower.
Yeah.
And look at her now. She's going to the Folk Awards in April, Newfoundland. Honestly, that's
I
amazing.
think if you got something you're good at, or even something you just enjoy doing, just put that out into the world, and yeah, it'll really make a difference in your life.
It does. It's our gifts from the universe, right? That's a reason why. There's a reason why we do these specific things, and it sets our bellies on fire and it lights up our souls. It's because these are the things that we're supposed to do.
Yes.
You're supposed to be in music. I'm supposed to be hosting the Tiffany show. Beautiful human being. Keep going, sister.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll be watching. You're going to get an award. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
If little you were sitting here right now, what would you tell her?
Have the audacity to love yourself the most. Doesn't mean being selfish. It doesn't mean that you don't love other people, but love yourself the most. Put yourself on your to-do list, on your priority list. When you make your list of chores for the week, put self-care on there.
Thank you for sharing your heart with us. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Ineke, if you had a message for little you, or maybe some of the young women that are home right now, what would you say to them?
Really, just keep going. No matter what you say to yourself, no matter what you do, the mistakes you make, no matter what, just keep one step in front of the other. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Just keep moving.
Yes.
I love that. Ineke, happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
You know, I'm going to stop worrying and caring about what other people think, or what I think they think, because generally speaking, people don't care, right? They're so narcissistic. They mostly just care about themselves. Like, they don't care about what I'm doing.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. On a beach and look at another human being in a bathing suit and say something negative about it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
You are at the beach.
100%.
That is your beach body. You want a summer body? Step outside in the summertime.
There you go.
And you've got one. So, Ashley, what would you tell that narrator now?
Besides happiness is a choice, it's go out there and do the things that frighten you, that push your boundaries, that make you a little bit uncomfortable, because with that establishes growth, right?
Yeah.
And then success, because for me, success isn't necessarily about financial stability or accomplishment. It's about going to sleep at the end of the day and being like, yeah, I did that, you know, like, F yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I die, the only thing I get to leave behind is the way that I made people feel.
Absolutely.
And so at my funeral, I want this entire city grieving. I want glitter to be shot into my headstone every
100%.
several hours.
Yeah. I'll head up that operation.
On March 31st,
Yeah.
I want the clock tower pink.
Yes.
Ashley, if little you were here right now, what would you tell that little girl?
Go do all the crazy things.
Yes.
Do the crazy stuff. And don't worry about what everybody else thinks, because generally speaking, they're going to actually be encouraged by those bold choices.
Ashley, happy International Women's Day, my friend.
IWD.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, has been the Tiffany Show. Lift people up. Take care of yourselves and each other. Be kind. Keep going. And all that good stuff.
Hi, I'm Sarah Evans, born and raised in Peterborough, Ontario. I am very proud to call this great community home. 705-768-6278 or visit sarahevans.ca.
Not intended to solicit those currently under contract.
Live from the studio audience. I've never had a live audience before. Oh no, I have. I MC things. I forgot about that. So the live studio audience, the people. Hello. Hello. I've never done that. There's going to be like a laugh track and everything. That's kind of exciting. It gives me my big Oprah vibe. Bye, babe. Love you. Oh, I recorded all of that.